Hi and welcome back to Smart ER. So today I'm going to do an oil and filter change on my 1 litre non-turbo Smart 453 Smart Fourfour. So I thought I'd walk you through the entire process. You're going to need some tools and a specialist tool, but I'll come to that in the future. So this is how you get access to some of the engine bay, but it's quite exposed, and I've had my 453 now for just over a year. I've never taken this off to look at it. I've been very naughty. I've not done my due diligence and maintenance checks, but as you can see, it's quite dirty. It's quite open. There's no under tray protecting it. So I just thought I'd give you a quick insight into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at these two spots. So this is the oil filler cap. So you want to take that off, and then you want to pull out your drain, your dipstick, and that's going to allow the oil to flow. So here is the sump where all the oil collects at the bottom, and you are going to need a special tool. So here is the drain plug itself, and this is the tool. So it came out very easily, didn't require a lot of effort. It is square. It's not a Torx bit. It's not a bolt. It's a recessed square. And this is an old adapter that I had from a Renault I had many years ago. But I'll put a link in the description of what it is and where to find it. So warm your engine up first. So take it for a little drive, just to allow the viscosity of the oil to run through more cleanly into your drain tray or your drip tray. Once it's all come back out again, use a fresh crush washer and just do it up hand tight. Give it a good old wipe, get rid of any residue. Simple stuff, really. Now, I haven't got a Torx wrench. I literally tighten it up till I get a little bit of resistance, and then half a snap or half a pinch then. And I've been doing it for 25 plus years and I've never had any issues. So next thing to do is to get access to take the oil filter off. So I'm going to jack it up. I'll show you how I do it. So across this this torsion arm, jack it right up and use axle stands. And this is probably the most difficult oil filter I've ever had to do, and I'm quite happy to tell you and share with you, it was an absolute nightmare to get off. Somebody had done it up so tightly that I had to use an oil filter removal tool. So all I've done here is jack it all the way up and pop in an axle stand, and then lower it down just a little to take the majority of the weight. And a little bit of spray is my really considerate neighbour next door, jet washing his cars. I was doing this. So yeah, it was quite a challenge to get to it. So what I've done, I've positioned this little stand where you will find it to give you a bit of a reference point. So it's at the back of the sump. It's at the back of the sump. So here's another angle. So I'm going to crawl right under here now and get under it. So imagine where that little camera stand was, video stand was, and then I'm pointing it upwards, and that's it, the blue circular thing there. Sorry, it's a bit shaky, but there you are. That's what it looks like. And it was an absolute cow to get to. So here's one of the tools that I used, that I had to use to try and remove it. There's a few different types that you can have. That's the only one that I've got. I did have a chain one, but that was just very destructive. It did the job, but I'm not gonna fudge it. It was on there. Like, it took me at least 20 minutes trying to release it, and then going away and having a break, and trying to release it and going away and having a break. But this is a nice little image of me getting absolutely filthy. it, it just went everywhere. Obviously, there's a bit of oil left in the canister itself, and the vehicle is slightly tilted. So yeah, it went down my arm and onto my red top, which I've been using since I've started Smart ER. Be environmentally friendly. Collect your oil. Make sure you dispose it properly. If you're in the UK, your local recycling centre. And I got this. I'll share a link of this drip tray, this oil collector that I got. I think I got it from Amazon. It was only, was it £9? Quite cool. Really good. It's got a nice spout for pouring it out and then into a container. So just remove the oil, and now let's have a look at the oil filter itself. There you go, new one. So the oil I got was 5W40 fully synthetic from Halfords. Check the right oil for your country, as they do change. Check the country you're in for the correct oil in case it's hotter and colder. Sometimes it might get down to, I think it's 5W40. But again, check you have the right oil. So this is just in reverse. If it was this easy to have removed it, I would have been so happy. But just screws right back on. A bit of oil on the O-ring to help it secure. I then go and get a rag to sort of clear off the excess oil around it and give me better purchase. And when you tighten them up, you don't use a tool, just use your hands. But obviously make sure the new oil filter itself is clean and dry, so you can get a really good grip. I put a new glove on as well, and just did it up hand tight, but it did make a lot of mess. I'd probably use the second axle stand as well moving forward. I had enough. It wouldn't have given me much more room, but it was a bit scary. It was a bit hairy scary going under there, but right at the back of the engine, absolute nightmare. And there we are, just hand tight. If you found this video interesting, useful, informative, I really would appreciate just a thumbs up. If you have a Smart 453, then maybe subscribe. There's a bit of content on there already and some more. And there's some legacy content with some general hints and tips and advice as well. So what I do now is it's just a simple top up now. So clean the oil, the dipstick, set it aside. This is to allow the air to flow through the engine as you're topping up the oil. And it's always better to put too little in than too much, because it's much harder to take it out once it's in there. So I believe it's 4 litres is the amount that you need, and this is a 5 litre canister. So I just keep periodically checking, taking it out, cleaning the dipstick, and remember to wait a few minutes, let the oil go from the top of the filler cap down into the engine. And I think I did about 4 times, and that was the end result. So in between, just above halfway, and that's that done. So then it's just a case of popping the oil filler cap back on, popping the engine cover tray back on. Job done, cup of tea time.